Thank you for joining VirtualPBX-admin training. I'm going to give people another minute or so here just to get everything set up. And give people a chance to get logged in. All right. If you are a vConsole customer, we don't currently do the live trainings for vConsole any longer. However, if you go to our website under support and vConsole support, that'll take you to this page here. And if you scroll down over here on the right, the advanced admin training, that is the complete training for vConsole, which we used to host. And then further down, we have the specific guides for different features as well as devices. And the guides will have screenshots as much as possible. Likewise, for Dash customers, under Dash support, scroll down, the new user training, that's actually the full training for admins. And scrolling down, you have the various guides for feature guides as well as for devices. Under both, you have your login pages. We'll go ahead and dive right into Dash here. Actually, I think I might already be logged in. Yep, looks like I am. Let me get logged out of this particular account. All right, so your login is going to be your email address, your password, and then your account name, which is normally going to be your company name, but we'll be using a test account here. You can choose to remember, so that way you don't have to keep typing in every time. And if you ever forget your information, you've got the Forgot Info link there. And then once the page loads up, it takes a little bit of time. You're taken to your dashboard by default. Now, if you've just signed up, you're going to get the Dash wizard to start, basically give you an overview of the system, some of the key things. Now, the dashboard page, this is where you go to actually do your setup, right? So this is where you're fine-tuning things, determining call routing, and that sort of thing. You have a couple other things to keep in mind. So along the top, you've got your name. Web phone, I have a web phone set up on this particular user, so I can click on this link to get to the web phone. Store link, so you can get to our VirtualPBX store. Little help guide. And then this icon here, 3 horizontal lines, menu. This allows you to get to other major sections. So we're on the dashboard. Queues, is if you're making use of ACD queues. This would also be where your staff goes to log into the queue via the website. Blacklists, this allows you to make a list of phone numbers that you're blocking from connecting to your system, i.e. you don't want these people to call you, you get their phone number, you put them in the list. Faxes, as an admin, you can get to any fax box on the account and see the faxes that are there. Monitor lets you see what your staff are doing in terms of their phones. So if they're green, that means they're waiting for a call. Blue means they're on an inbound call. Yellow means they're on an outbound call. Gold means they're on wrap-up time, and red means they've marked themselves unavailable. Recordings takes you to your call recordings. Basically, if you're making use of call recordings, it takes you to a separate site, so you can look at them there, or download them, or delete them. The user portal, this is what most of your users are going to have. Most people use this to either look at their voicemails via the website, or to set up call forwarding, i.e. they're going to be away from their desk phone, and they know it, so they're like, well, let me just have calls forwarded to my cell phone, for example. Voicemails, again, as an admin, you have access to all the voicemail boxes on the account, so you can get to the messages there, as well as deleting the messages. And then lastly, down here, we have webhooks. This basically allows you to tie Dash into other software, typically using Zapier or Zapier. All right, so let's go over here back to the dashboard. Up here, we have your users. These are all the users on your account. You are paying for each user. So each time you add a user, your bill is going to increase. So keep that in mind. Down below, you have your devices. And then they're broken down by type. Unregistered devices are basically means the system doesn't know that they're connected. So as far as we know, we can't actually send a call to that device. This is typically going to be reflected of your your VoIP phones. Main numbers. These numbers all behave the same way. So they all call in. These are your numbers your customers typically dial to get to you or your company. They're going to have the same main greeting. They'll have the same main and the same normal routing. Your fax box number. This is so you can accept incoming faxes. That's the number that they're going to go to. Total numbers. These are all the numbers you have on the account. Your account includes anywhere from 1 to 3 phone numbers, depending on the plan you chose. Once you go beyond that, each number is $4.99 per month per number. Now this and that's for U.S. numbers. International numbers can have a different rate. An assigned number means these are numbers that you're using. They go someplace, so like a main number. But you could also have numbers go directly to a particular user, go to one of your ring groups, go directly to your ACD queue. Spare numbers means there's numbers on your account, but you're not using them, so they don't ring anywhere. You're still being charged for them if you're over your account allotment, but you still have them. That's basically for like future growth, where you just have to like a number and you're like, I want to hold on to that for a while. Down here, broken up again, in this case, between U.S. local numbers and U.S. toll-free numbers. You could have international numbers also in here. Your company user directory, notice that this is listed at 10, but I have a total of 19 users. So that means 9 people I decided would not show up in the company directory. You can change that at any time on the user's page. But then you can download this list, print it out so your staff has a list of everyone's extension, for example. Down here, we've got the account ID. This is actually your account number. If you ever call in to support or go into chat, we're not going to ask you for this number, typically speaking. We'll ask you for your company name, and we'll look you up that way. But like if you email us, you can always give us that information, and we can look you up that way. Next up, we've got the account realm. This is typically used for programming third-party devices. So like soft phone from Xlite, or from Counterpath. Xlite is their name of a program. Or a VoIP phone that is not listed on our auto provision list. Also used for email to fax. So if you wanted to fax out from your Dash account, it's actually you create an email, and in the to field, you put +1 and the area code and phone number that you're faxing to, the @ symbol, and then this account realm is the domain, and then just attach a PDF or TIFF. And then lastly, right down here, you have a stored discount code. Just for being a customer of VirtualPBX, you get a discount in our web store. All right, up here we have caller ID. This is your main company caller ID. The system will ask you to have this set if you don't already have it set. You can choose from any of your main numbers. And then here you have the company caller ID name, or CNAME, industry term. For this, you have up to 15 characters, including spaces or special characters, to be displayed when you make an outbound call. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. Not every carrier that calls go through support CNAME. So this means if your call happens to route through one of those carriers, the CNAME information will not get through to the person you're calling to. Even for those carriers who do support CNAME, if they're having some sort of issue, like higher than expected call volume, or they're having an outage in in a part of the country, or they're just doing maintenance, CNAME is the first thing they stop from going through, right? Their primary purpose of telecom or your phone companies is to catch the call, first and foremost. Then secondly, the caller ID information. And then lastly, CNAME. So CNAME is the first thing they drop because they want to make sure calls get connected as much as possible. And then the last minor thing is if you're calling someone who can program their phone's contacts, right? So they have your phone number and they listed it in a particular way, the phone's settings will override anything we send. All right. Next up, we have the company emergency or E91 address. So when you or one of your staff picks up a VoIP phone, dials 911, this is the default address that is sent out to emergency services. The system does want you to have this set up, and you can, if you have staff in different locations, they can have that set up per device. So that way they can have it sent to wherever they're located at. And if you make any changes, just click on Save Changes. Hold music. So Dash allows you to upload media files, specifically .mp3 or .wav. The main thing to remember when you upload these media files is that you want to make sure they're recorded in mono, not in stereo. When you listen to audio files over a phone, i.e. you're calling someplace, right, you have one speaker, so it's a mono device. If you try to force, or if the playback you have, or the file you have is in stereo, then you have two streams trying to go through one speaker, and what you hear is a lot of static. Right now, you're restricted to 1 megabyte file sizes. Our engineers are still looking at increasing that. But like a 1 megabyte MP3 is roughly 5 minutes. So that's usually plenty of time for hold music. In terms of hold music, this is after a caller has connected to one of your staff, right? So when a call comes in, right, the inbound caller, all they hear is ringing. Once your staff picks up and your staff needs to put them on hold, so they press the hold button on their phone, this is the default music that will play. Right, and to upload, you would click on Upload, find the file, and then click on the little blue icon here, and then click on Save Changes. And it looks like no one has shown up today, so I am going to go ahead and stop the stream.